we go from there. We move forward. That's all.
All right, Russ.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
All right, Russ. I'm asking for the floor, and I'm going to start this first meeting, all right? All right, guys. All right. What is a steward? Basically, what we do as a steward is this contract right here. This thing, this JSON, we police this thing. That's our ultimate job, is we police this contract. We make sure all our members' rights aren't being violated, and that is our number one duty. We don't personalize it. We can't play favorites, who we like, who we don't like, who we want to represent, who we don't want to represent. We represent the contract. We got to make sure that any of our rights aren't being violated. So that is ultimately the top of a steward, is we police the contract. All right. Being that and protecting jobs, because sometimes you'll have to represent somebody that's unpopular person who no one really likes. He really doesn't do much. But ultimately, we got to make sure that our jobs are protected, our work is protected, and due process is protected. So that means everybody. So I know a lot of people say, how does stewards defend this or defend that? We're not defending the person. We're defending the contract. All right? That's number one thing. And another thing I want to tell you guys, since we're on this contract thing as stewards, is this contract, it's not a buffet. We can't say, well, I want to defend this, or we're going to, but we don't like this, so we're not going to defend that. We got to defend this whole damn thing. There's things in there that I don't particularly like, and I know there's other things in there other people don't particularly like, but we got to defend everything in this thing. Like it or not, everything in this thing we got to protect. So that being said, being new stewards, we're going to start real slowly. You're not going to know this whole thing. There's 43 articles in this thing. I don't even know every word in every article, and I've been doing this for a long time. And I know Russ has. What I'm going to do is we're going to start with 7 articles, and it ain't going to be this class. Right now I'm just giving you an overview. But in the next class or the one after that, when we start getting into certain things, I want you guys to focus on 7 articles that basically we deal with. So don't think that you guys got to be experts starting off. You got us as a resource. If someone approaches you with a question and you don't know, all you got to do is tell them, listen, I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to get back to you. That's what you got to do. I'd rather you say that than be 99% sure, and then you end up being wrong. We all got to be on the same page. So your honesty to these guys, which is a huge freaking part of being a steward, is being upfront, honest. Credibility is huge. And if you don't know, just tell them you're going to investigate, and you're going to get back to them. So don't lie. Our credibility is everything. Right.
And the biggest thing on that point, let me interject something. The biggest thing on that point is I do it all the time. If I don't know an answer, I'm going to the contract, I'm going to the JSOM, I'm going to the local. Don't lie, but get back to these people as soon as you can.
Yeah.
It's important, okay? I try to do that. I get a phone call, I get a message, get back to these people. You don't know the answer, look it up and get right back to these people. Don't leave them hanging.
Gotcha.
All right. Like you said, following up is huge. And me as the craft director, and I know Russ is the president, that goes for you guys, for us as well. When you guys reach out to us, we're going to get back to you. That is a big deal. Okay, moving on from that, I'm going to give you guys, like what Russ was talking about a little bit earlier, the reality of being a steward. We're not going to win every grievance. You're not. So don't expect to win every single grievance. You're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We're all going to be a collective team, and we're going to support each other, and we're going to research together. We're going to inform each other. We're going to communicate together. We're going to fight together. We're not going to be perfect. I don't care who you are. I've been around this place long enough. Everyone's going to make a mistake. So don't feel like you got to be an expert and perfect. It takes time. Stewardship is a game of experience. Just learn the basics, and I'm going to bring it on to you guys slowly, and you guys are going to get better, more experience, and that's how you're going to become a good steward. But the best trait is credibility, brothers. Be straight up with your brothers and sisters. And that's the most important thing. Another reality is, if you guys get a thank you from the membership, you're lucky. Which is sad, but it is the reality. These guys, you're going to go and you're going to fight your ass off sometimes for these guys upstairs, and the appreciation isn't always there. But the reason why we do stewardship, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I believe in this thing right here. This thing supports our family. This is our working conditions, our rights, our pay. This is everything. This is why I'm a steward. This is why I'm a craft director, and I'm sure this is why you're a freaking steward, because you want to protect your rights for your family. VP. All right. To go back to the whole thing of people coming up to you saying how you can defend that guy. Remember, we're defending due process, and that due process includes everybody. So I know I keep bringing it up, but that's something that's definitely going to come up. You're going to get people, the anti-union people are going to say, how can you defend that guy? No, we're defending the contract. We're defending their rights, and we're defending due process. Another thing you're going to do as a steward, you're pretty much going to be a shrink sometimes. You got to listen. You got to let them vent. Some of these guys, as you guys know, you guys work your asses off. You come to work, you're doing 40 hours, 60 hours. You guys are dealing with a lot of frustrations, especially with this stuff going on. Sometimes being a steward, being a leader is what it is. You're going to just let people vent sometimes. Sometimes you just got to be an ear. It's going to happen. So that's part of being a steward, is just letting people vent and getting it out. Sometimes if you got a rift between two members, we try to handle it in-house before management gets involved. So that's where the steward will get involved between the two guys, talk to both guys, try to work it out. Because whenever management gets involved, it's usually bad news. We know that. So we consider our membership brothers and sisters. We call them brothers and sisters, and we try to treat them that way. So part of being is a mediator, a shrink, an ear to listen to. So that's part of the deal. Have compassion. Some of these guys, when they're dealing with getting disciplined, or you got management coming down on them, you got to show them that compassion. That's something that I think goes a long way. All right. As your vice president and your craft director, this is some of my wants. This is something I'm looking for. I'm going to tell you right now, my number one priority for you guys to realize is, to me, families first, for all you guys. That's my priority, and I believe the same for you guys. Family is number one. We're all going to support each other, but remember, when it comes to any of this stuff, it's your family first. My number two on that list is love your union. Love the APWU. Be passionate. Fight. If you don't believe in this, if you don't fight for it, you're going to be freaking useless as far as I'm concerned. I don't want stewards that are out for themselves. And there's been known to have people, we've had stewards that they did it for themselves. That's not what I want. That's not who I want representing me. I want somebody that believes in the contract. I want someone that believes in the cause. I want someone that believes in helping. We're stewards. We're there to freaking help people. We're not there to help ourselves. We're there to help other people. I don't do this for the money because it ain't shit. I don't do it because I love stress, and I got a lot of it. I do it because I want to be a steward. I want to help. I want to help the membership. I want to help my brothers and sisters, because you know what? If we don't got each other's back, we're fucked. We got to have each other's back. So family first, love your union. Number three on my list, Ed's list, is I want you to be credible. I know you can laugh, Ed's list, but it's what I expect of my people. I think credibility goes a long way. I think if you're freaking defending a contract and then they see you violating it, they know you're not supposed to do this, but they see stewards doing something they know they're not supposed to do. And they're like, oh, look at that steward. He knows we're not supposed to be doing it, but he's doing it anyway. That's not what I want, because that shows no credibility. If you guys want to freaking defend this contract, you got to live by that contract. So my stewards, I expect that. If you're not a steward and you're a member, I get it. People are going to direct bargain. They're going to do whatever's best interest for them. I get that. But my people, my union, my stewards, they got to have some credibility, man. People might call me white hat or whatever, but credibility and honesty is If you can't have credibility and you can't have honesty, then what's the point? So be straight up with me. Be straight up with the membership. And if you do all those 4 things I just said, I think we're going to be just fine. All right. Enough of the soapbox rah-rah stuff. Hey, Sean. Sean, you there? Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, Ed? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, Sean, we got, I don't know if you can see, we got Nick here and Roy's around, Dennis. Russ is here, the president of our union. I basically.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Russ. Hi, Nick.
How are you?
Good, good.
To give you literally a quick recap, Sean, that I gave these guys, I'm going to be quick because I gave a whole speech, is basically I gave them a roll down of what is a steward, and basically we police the contract. You're not going to know the whole contract. You're going to come to me, Russ, the other stewards. If you don't know, you're going to come to us. You're going to get back to the membership. We're a family. We're brothers and sisters. We're going to fight together. We're going to be credible. We're going to be honest. And that's about everything I said. I said it a lot longer-winded, but that's where I was at. All right, so now that I went down with what to expect as a steward, what you got to deal with that as a steward, one of the first things that as a duty that you're going to have to do as a steward is probably a PDI, because you guys are going to be alternates. So there's going to come a time they're going to say, oh, this person needs a steward. We're going to do a PDI. So you got to know your rights as a steward. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to punch over operation. You're going to make a move on a clock. Now, I don't know if you guys are taking notes or you can. But this is being recorded. I'm going to send it to all you guys. And I'm going to get this stuff in writing for you too. But you're going to punch over to 617. That's our MBS stewards. All right, you're going to punch over to that. The grieving, it'll be a 630. Now, your rights as a steward. Remember, when you're punched over as a steward, man, you're their equal. They're not your superior. You guys are equals. Now, that doesn't mean you can go in there and freaking choke them and punch them and make fun of their whatever, their small cock. But what that does do is it means that you're equal and that you can be passionate, loud, get angry with them. If they're, you know what I mean? You're their equal. When to go back to the beginning end now, after you guys punch over to 617, you're going to talk with the supervisor. You're going to say, hey, why do you need the PDI Dennis Reyes? What's going on? What's happening? And he's going to say, well, Dennis doesn't want to wear his vest. Right? That's just a crazy example. So you're going to talk to him. If you can resolve it before the PDI, you try to say, do we really need to do a PDI here? You're going to go, and this could be in regards to anything. Do we really need to do the PDI here? What about a discussion? What's the problem? Can we just handle this like adults? We're supposed to be corrective. Try to work it out with them before you actually get upstairs in the PDI. If you can't work it out.
Let me interrupt. Eddie, let me interrupt. PDI is a pre-disciplinary interview, okay? It doesn't mean shit on paper unless management issues discipline. Pre-disciplinary interview, if you didn't know what a PDI was. You guys being new probably did. Okay, it's the first step of management. That's the grievance day in court. All right, what's said at that PDI is very important. You take notes. I'm probably stepping on some of the stuff you're going to say, Ed.
Yep.
But you take notes. You interject when you have to, and it's very important. Like Ed said, going into the PDI, I'm going to have to do one coming up this week. The guy missed some scans or didn't change the scanner over to the proper date. He's getting the PDI. I'm going to go in and what the fuck? Cut the shit. All right, and nothing's going to come of it. Most PDIs don't end up in discipline unless it's a serious issue. All right, the biggest issues you're going to see out there for MBS drivers is accidents and attendance. And that's basically it. That's what you're going to be representing. Okay? Sorry, Eddie, go ahead.
No, that's great. That's what you're here for, Russ. So anyways, you're going to talk to the supervisor first. If you can't get them to talk into a discussion, and they say, hey, we're doing this interview. We're going upstairs, and there's going to be questions to be asked. But what I want you to do is you're going to get with the person. You're going to tell them, hey, I'm going to go talk to this person first. So you're going to get with the person that they're going to PDI. You're going to bring them outside in the bike area, somewhere private, and you're going to explain, hey, management wants to PDI you, Dennis, because you're not wearing a vest, and I want to ask you questions. Now, one of the big things I want you to do as a director is I want you first to try to calm that person, make them feel at ease, let them know that this isn't unusual, that we've gone through this before, that we have their back, that we have the grievance procedure to, calm them down, because some people get worked up. I mean, you're talking, they're like, oh, I'm going to get disciplined, and they get all worked up. So as a steward, one of your jobs as a leader of this local is to get with the membership when shit hits the fan at their worst, because we're dealing with these people not because they're getting promoted or they're getting a pay raise. We're dealing with these people usually when it's something negative. So first and foremost, show the compassion I was talking about, and basically ease them, let them know that we got their back, then explain what the issue is. Dennis, they want to bring you upstairs because they say you got to wear a vest. Then explain that during this PDI process, they're going to have questions, and these questions aren't going to be to help them. They're going to try to nail them to the wall with these questions. So explain to them that, don't give them too much information, because any information you give them, they're going to try to use it against you. So I try to keep it to more along the lines of yes and no during the interview. I tell them, don't give them too much because of that reasoning. So, hey, Diana.
Don't lie.
I mean, but yeah. So then you're going to go upstairs, do the PDI. They're going to start the questioning off like they always do. They're going to say, hey, this could lead to discipline up including removal. They say that on everything, right? We know it's not going to be a removal situation 99.99% of the time, but they're going to say that. So anyways, they're going to ask questions. Just make sure you're grievant. The person doesn't say too much. And at the beginning stages of the steward as an alternate, this is what you're going to deal with a lot of times, these PDIs. The regular steward's going to a lot of times handle the grievance, right? A lot of times if the regular steward's not around at the beginning stages, they're going to say, hey, Nick, hey, Sean, Marine, I need you to do a PDI. So like I said, try to talk them out of the PDI, talk to the grievant, calm their nerves, tell them not to say too much, bring them upstairs, and like Russ said previously, during the PDI, take notes. There's a piece of paper here that you guys all you guys, and it's basically pre-disciplinary interview stewards notes, and basically it's self-explanatory when you read it. So that's what you're going to deal with at first. You probably guys will be doing PDIs. This first meeting, obviously, I got to hold it to like 40 minutes. We're probably going to have about 3 of them. And as we go along, we're going to get a little bit more advanced with like the step 1 process to write agreements and whatnot. But we're not going to do that just now. We're just going to start out basic. You're only going to retain 10% of what I say. So if I give you 100 things, you're going to remember 10 of them or whatever. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure you guys know what it is to be a steward, what I expect of you as a steward, and some of the really easy beginning things like a PDI. Have credibility. Talk to the membership. Inform the membership. Because I'm going to inform you guys. I'm going to communicate through text messages. I'm going to send emails out that you probably already have. Any information that I can share to the membership, if I can't do it in a craft report, believe me, you guys are going to hear about it. And once I post and you guys are known as stewards, believe me, you're going to get bombarded, obviously, if you haven't already have, with people asking questions. And I'm going to try to give you guys all the information I can. And I want all of us on the same page. Because what sometimes happens is someone will ask a steward a question, they won't like the answer, and what are they going to do? They're going to run to another steward trying to get another answer. So my ultimate goal is to keep all of us on the same page so we all have the same answers on issues. So that's why I think communication is key. Communication is going to make us strong. So with that being said, do any of you guys have any questions at this point of what's expected of you?
Not yet.
Not yet? So,
I got one.
go ahead.
So, Ed, we're still there equal even though we're alternates?
Yes, once you switch over to 617, you'll be moving operation. Once you're a steward, once they say we need you to represent somebody, you go over the time clock, you hit move, you type in 617, the Boston area code, that's how I remember it, the Red Sox.
Yeah, right.
So you punch over to 617, and you're their equal. And they know
Okay.
being their equal now goes both ways. I'm upstairs, and Mike Fletcher
Right.
F-bombs and being a complete dickhead. I can't say it. It goes both ways.
Right.
So we can't go after them when we're both. So sometimes you'll get into arguments upstairs with management, and there might be a few four-letter words, but you guys are equals. Now, if you were just not on operation and you said something that swear and you said something that maybe you got too loud or whatever, you could be disciplined for that. Just like management could be disciplined if they started F-bombing you if you weren't on operation. You know what I'm saying? But once you're on equal, it's an even playing field. You know? Did you have something, Leroy?
No, I don't.
Okay. Marine, I know you've been around and been doing these for a while, so I know this isn't for you. All I wanted to do, I know you've been around. I told those guys basically what I was expecting. I don't know if you were here or that. But moving on.
Hi, Marine.
Hello. How are you?
All right. So this big contract, all right? There's 43 articles in this contract, right? We got this, 43 articles, CBA. We got this. It's called the JSON. You guys will be getting copies of these. Especially, we should be getting the new ones, Russ, eventually down the road, but we'll be getting them. So you got our CBA, you got our JSON. What this JSON is, it's an interpretive. It's basically, the CBA can be hard to understand sometimes. It was put together by lawyers, so some of the stuff is a little hard to understand. So what they did, they made this JSON manual. What this does, it interprets this. So it's kind of like, you know how you got a Bible, and some people don't understand a Bible, so they got an interpretive Bible that explains it? That's what this is. JSON is the same damn thing, except it explains this. We have this, and then we got our local. All right? So we got our local, JSON, CBA, and then the other manual we basically use is the ELM. It's the Employee Labor Management Manual. But don't read into this too much. Like I said, we're going to go real slow. How I'm going to work with you guys when it comes to the CBA is, like I said, there's 43 articles. The only article I want you guys to know for a while going forward is 7 of them. All right? So out of this whole entire thing, I want you to know 7 articles. I'll tell you the articles I want you to know. And I don't expect you to, I'm just throwing it out there. So, hold on a sec, guys. You know, I can't find it, but I know it on the top of my freaking head. All right, so the one article we got to know is hold on, let me find the date. Hold on one sec, guys. All right. Here it is. All right. These are the 7 articles we deal with 90% of the time. And so these are articles we're going to need to know for motor vehicle. Now, a lot of this stuff I'm talking about could pertain to every craft, but this in particular is for us, MBS. 43 articles, through to 43. We're gonna focus in on 7, and we deal with the 90%. So Article 8, and this is something I'm gonna send a text to you guys. I mean, not a text, but I'll put it in writing for you guys. But I'm just gonna speak it to you. Article 8's hours of work. We deal with Article 8 all the time. That's the obvious. Any overtime bypass, scheduling, anything like that is gonna be an Article 8 grievance. And you guys know overtime is a big deal. People being bypassed, big deal. So Article 8 is something we're going to have to deal with a lot. You guys will be filing Article 8 grievances. Anything to do with work hours is an Article 8. So that's the one article. Article 15. Article 15 is the article that pertains to the grievance procedure. And what that is it gives you like your timelines. Like for filing a grievance, you got 14 days to file, and it tells you how, the process. Now, I'm not going to get into that right now. This is going to be something I'm going to do in another training class, maybe the 3rd. Don't even sweat this. I'm just telling you where we're going to be going. Over it. The 3rd article is Article 16, and that one's about discipline, which obviously we have to deal with. So we got Article 8 with overtime and scheduling. Article 16 is discipline. So anytime discipline's involved, we're going to be filing Article 16. And basically, in a nutshell, with Article 16, it's about progressive discipline. And that's what we fight for. Just cause, progressive discipline. I'm huge on being corrective. They're not supposed to just be punitive. They're not supposed to just say, oh, you made a mistake. You didn't even know you made a mistake, and I'm just going to give you a suspension or a letter of warning. They're supposed to be corrective. And we're very successful at that. Myself as craft director, I think I've been not patting myself, but patting my team on the back. We've pretty much rescinded, I want to say 95% of our articles. Man, we kicked ass in it. So that's the one we will have to pick this one. Article 17, steward's rights. Your rights as a steward. We're going to get into that. And then the last 3 I need you guys to know is Article 30. What that is our LMOU. That's all our local shit. And I created an MVS local that I'm going to give you guys. None of the stuff in it, none of the maintenance stuff, just the MVS and the stuff that pertains to all the crap. But basically, it's the local agreement for MVS. All our everything that pertains to us. So that's Article 30. That's basically talking about 22D. I don't know if you guys hear that, but you will. It's a lot to do with seniority, to be honest with you. It's seniority, it's pecking orders, it's how they handle holidays, it's stuff like that. But that's something we're going to get into slowly down the road. Like I said, I want you guys to learn just a little at a time. And this first meeting is just an overview, guys. I'm not expecting you to remember any of this. Article 31, that's the 6th one that I want you guys to know. And what that is, it's the RFI, it's request for information. So when you guys start investigating a grievance, it's your right to investigate. It's your right to request information. And we'll get into that. And the last article I want you to know, the 7th one, is Article 39. And when you go into the CBA in Article 39, you'll see it's MVS. It's just about motor vehicle. Nothing to do with clerks. Nothing to do with maintenance. It's simply MVS. So them are the 7 articles I want you to know. And if 2 years from now, if you guys are still stewards, ready to take my job, if you know those 7 articles, I'm a happy camper, man, because them are the big 7. Everything else is going to come over time. I mean, eventually, as time goes by, you'll hear about the 10% stuff. Now, I said that's 90% to 7. There's going to come a time where you're going to get an Article 14 thing, which would be safety related, or Article 7, employee classifications, or you know what I mean? But just
if I may interject, don't want to interrupt you. Article 19.
Handbooks.
Okay, it refers to handbooks and manuals. Yeah. Very important to quote in grievances when you're using the Employee Labor Relations Manual and everything else. Yeah. That's just included so you can include copies of documentation from the other manuals that the Postal Service can provide. We will be giving you a thumb drive with all the information on it. It'll have your forms, your contracts. There's a manual in there that we use as union representatives, defense versus discipline. Follow it. It's very good. It explains what Ed brought up earlier, the PDI and how to file grievances for discipline. Written by an MBA out in the Midwest, Jeff Keller. Very, very smart man. Follow the manuals, follow the instructions we give you. It's in the Steward's Guide to Filing Grievances. Very, very good. That will be on a thumb drive that we will give you. But Article 19 is just something that you want to quote when you're using handbooks and manuals. Sorry to interrupt, Ed.
Nope, you got it. All right.
Go ahead.
Now that you went along with that, Russ, I'll get you names of these guys. We're gonna need keys for the union office.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get with Todd so I can get him access to our computer in our union office here. We got 3 computers. We have a laptop and 2 other computers. Where it has you can go on and do research or type up a Word document or anything you need. But like I said, that's something that I'm going to string you guys along. I'm going to put training wheels on you guys, and I want you to learn it good, slowly. I don't want to throw everything at you. You'll get overwhelmed, and you'll be like, fuck this. I want you guys to slowly pick this stuff up. And if it's not for you, you'll know, and then that's fine. We have people that come, and it's not for them, and they leave. And then we got some people that come, and they freaking love it, and they good at it. And we need assets like that. I mean, because I know I can't do this forever. I got a lot longer, but I know you guys got longer than me. And my ultimate goal is for you guys to retire from this place. My ultimate goal is for you to be able to provide for your family via food, college. I want you guys to be able to retire. I want that for you guys because that's what this place provided for me. And ultimately, it ain't the damn post office that provided for me. It's this thing right here, because if it wasn't for this, I guarantee I wouldn't be working here because the pay would suck, the rights would suck, the benefits would suck. I wouldn't be here. So because of this, because of 1970, when they went on strike and they said, fuck that, we don't make enough, our rights suck, we got no seniority. I mean, I could go on and on. So the union, the people fought, and that's what we're doing. Because if we ain't doing it, man, we're going to go to shit. Because I tell you this, we got a decent local. People like to talk shit about it because they don't know better. It's like a spoiled kid at Christmas who doesn't know about the poor kids. We got a solid local. Our LOU, our local agreement, because when we go to these national conventions and we go to these workshops and you see what all these other locals have, I'm telling you, man, there's locals that we're solid. We got a pretty damn good local. And the reason why we got a good local is because people before us fought for good language, and they fought for this stuff. So we obviously need to keep the fight. So that's our goal as stewards. That's our goal as a local to keep making sure that our rights are protected and that the people that were before us that fought and got this language for us to keep it. So that's where we're at with that. So I don't got much longer because I got to keep these to like 40 minutes. So I'll let you guys know. It might be a week from now or whatever. We're going to have another training course. It's probably going to have 2 more. I might have 4. I don't want to throw too much at you. I really do want to go little by little. And I know I keep repeating myself. Like I said, this one was just giving you an overview to tell you what we're about, where we're going, and what I expect. And I truly, if you guys get on board with being, credible and passionate and believe in what I believe in, and we're all believe in the same thing, and we keep that communication, and we get a solid team to get together, man, we're going to win the fight. We're going to win the war. And that's what it's all about, because our family, our livelihood's on the line here, folks. You guys know that. I mean, people can say what they want, but you know what's going on. They're trying to come after us. They've been coming after the post office for a long time. When I first started 24 years ago, they were coming then, and we keep fighting. The union keeps fighting. Guess what? I'm still standing here. So I believe 24 years from now, you guys will be still standing too. So, but we got to be that. We got to be the soldiers. And not a lot of people want to do it, man. Some people, they want to sit in the cheap seats and just talk shit. They don't want to get on the field and actually play the game. And we need people that are going to step up and play the damn game. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put a team together. And I'm trying to put a team together. And the reason why I asked you guys that are currently here is, believe me, we went through every freaking people, and we looked at people we thought could really be an asset. And believe me, and I'm not saying this to be rude or an ass, there's people that want to be stewards that we didn't put on, and because I felt they wouldn't be an asset. So me asking you guys isn't just for a long shot. I believe you guys, if you stepped up and you joined this fight, I think we'll do good things. And my number one concern is the membership. So I think you guys can, if we do what we want to do, what I'm going to do is, after you guys get fully trained, I know I'm going long now, but like say 6 months from now, a year and a half from now, I would love to be in a position where any one of you guys could step up eventually down the road, take over as future craft director, future president, future vice presidents. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for youth, and it ain't going to stop now. We're still going to continue. I know there's a couple other guys that we're possibly targeting for down the road. So, but I think we got good people. Danny Rosso, I think he's kick-ass. Dennis Reyes, he's been around longer than just about everybody. You know Dennis. Dennis don't take no shit. He's a union true and true. Justin's youngcomer. You guys youngcomer. Marine's steady, been around for a while. She loves the union. Her heart's in the right place. And she's a soldier. She'll do whatever I ask. I know she's awesome. Russ, we're lucky to have Russ. I think Russ does a lot of great things, and I believe Russ is going to freaking go to battle for us. Am I right, Russ? You got to back us? You got to fucking kick ass for us, Russ, or what?
We always do.
Yes, I know.
Basically, I let the directors run their crafts. I back them up whenever I can, and if there's anytime they make a decision, I'm backing your decision, right? And when they need me to interject, I interject.
All right. So
nicely, of course.
Okay, so I'm going to be wrapping this one up. The next 2 or 3 we have, if you guys
Eddie, I got a comment. Sorry for
no, go ahead.
It's important, guys, to ask for time. You train them. You ask the supervisors early as you're starting off as a steward for union time. I think that's really, really important. You know, they're going to ask you what you want union time for. Investigate a possibly overtime grievance or whatever the case is. Get union time. You read. Read. And knowledge is power, man. That's all I gotta say.
I agree, D. Knowledge is power, guys, and that is true. And a lot of times when you're down in his union office, I learned a ton of stuff just being in here, just ears wide open like a sponge, listening to the clerks talking and the maintenance talking and all being here, phones ringing. And you can learn a lot from just being down here, you know. But my goal as one of the leaders of this local is, and the reason why I'm doing this training is I think it's our obligation to train you guys and bring you guys up and build you up. And like Dennis said, knowledge is power, man. If you don't have knowledge, man, you have no power. You got to have the knowledge. So that's what we're going to do over the next 3 meetings. I'm going to try to give you some knowledge. I'm going to go slow and easy. We're going to go article by article, and we'll also get into how we fill out a step 1 grievance. Real simple. It's not hard. None of us are lawyers here. I didn't go to Harvard, you know. Our number one, I think our biggest asset as a union is our heart, not our mind. We need our mind. Knowledge is power, but I think our heart, if we lead with our heart and focus with our mind, that I think we'll be good. So, because none of us are fucking lawyers. I mean, shit, if I was a lawyer, I wouldn't be here. If you were a lawyer, you wouldn't be here. So we're basically a bunch of soldiers with passion doing what we got to do with, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to guide you guys. I'm going to support you guys. I'll have your back. If you call me, I'm going to call you back. You text me, I'm going to text you back. I expect the same back to me. I think if we can't have division, be honest with you guys, we've had some division in our local. We've had some, but we're working to repair that. One of my goals is to do some damage control, and I want to have a local where we're all one. Solidarity, man. Unity. That's what union is. So I got your back. You got my back. We both do this together. We fight this together, and we'll win this together. So the next step is to work on that knowledge Dennis was talking about. We're going to go article by article. I'm going to give you step by step. I'm going to put training wheels on you guys. And hopefully one day you guys will be freaking flying like jets. And I'll be able to sit back and know I'm good because you guys will be protecting my ass. So that ultimately is where we want to go. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. I think we're about 40 minutes in, right? Somewhere around there. So
it gave you like a time thing on my phone. It gave you like a time thing saying it was up. The time limit was up. Still kept it going, so that's pretty cool.
All right. So just real quick, does this time work for you guys, like for future meetings, or do you want to do it earlier? I mean, later, or does 9 o'clock work? Or
this works for me.
Work for you guys?
Works for me.
All right. So I'm probably going to set something up next week. I'll let all you guys know, obviously. And then it's not going to be any rah-rah that you guys got today from me where I'm on my soapbox preaching. I'm gonna get into
If you want to see him on his soapbox preaching, please come to a union meeting next time we have one. It's every third Thursday at 6:30 over at Berkshire Ave. You want to get a nice show, it's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, it's not the same over Zoom. You know what I mean, Russ?
I hear you.
All right. So anyways, I'll be in touch with you guys real soon. Russ is going to get you keys. We're going to get you a login. We're going to get you documentation. And then the next few meetings we have, if you can, take notes. If not, no big deal. I'm going to record these. And I'm going to provide it all on paper. So I'm going to try to make this as easy for you guys as possible because my goal is for you to take my job. And do it better than me. So with that being said, any of you guys got any questions before I leave? Nick, what do you got?
No, I don't.
You got anything, Nick?
I'm curious if I can get copies of the JSON contract online.
You can.
Yes.
If you go on to the website, our local's got a website. It's APW Local 497, right, Russ? If you Google that, and it'll be our local. And on that, when you go to the website, you'll see those.
Your best place to find it is apwu.org. Okay, on the right-hand side, it says members only. Click on that, and you'll see frequently used things. And you want to click on that. It's going to give you the 2015-2018 contract, the 2018 and 2021 contract,